Good morning. Thanks for joining me here as I do my pre-morning walkabout here at Orchestra Farm. And I'm a little behind on videos, so if I don't think anyone else is noticing that but myself. However, I'll be getting them out there. There's been lots of stuff going on. And with that, I mentioned life studying, and the lady's name is Amy Dingman, who came up with that. She has a Farmish Kind of Life podcast and website and a bunch of different books and things, which are all delightful. So if you want to go check her out, hear some more about that, that's a good thing to do. And for me, I'm having several different conversations in my life. Look at these potatoes at my feet, potatoes in this mass of dirt. I really like potatoes on the edges. It seems like potatoes are one of these things that once you plant them, you gotta love those big cars in the distance. You never get them all, and so they just keep coming out of the ground. Yeah, that's great. And so in those conversations, along with potatoes, I guess I'll start with potatoes since I just showed you some. So I was chatting yesterday. We had a farm day where I live, and one of the questions I asked is like, hey, what's one thing we could do to, make our lives a bit more sustainable, or, to be plan better for our future, or to, live a better, higher quality life. And the answer that came back was to grow a single crop to, look at all these berries. I don't know if you see them in there, but lots of currents happening now. So that way we could actually have at least one crop self-sufficiency with. And that's what crop do you think that would be? And the answer that came back was potatoes. Funny to see them all there like that, eh? And I'm definitely doing some experiments at my house. If you've seen some of the videos, then you know what I'm talking about. Yummy. Oh, and Josta berries are back there. That's so good. Let's see if I can go find one in another spot. And the notion that it's one thing to grow the food, but having the place to store it is the actual issue. And the notion of, there's 4 families where I live, including my own. And if you don't have a place to store the food, there's actually no sense in growing it. From the notion of it's just going to go bad. And then all that expenditure of energy and time and resource is lost to the compost bin. And I have done that enough that I don't want to do that anymore. So one of the reasons I'm letting the farm go fallow this year, and here we go, Josta berries. These things are delish. And this put off, but look at those. It's not, but I'm not trying to eat them all year round. I appreciate the little bit that I do put off. It's raspberry season now. My family's going to come and do some harvesting and say, and the mulberries are still going. These are some of the things that on the farm bring me the most amount of joy. Like, yeah, you gotta wait a while to get these, but once they're there, it's semi-prolific. And I like the idea of what's that thing, that crop, that product that can really become either self-sufficient with or sustain you through the year. Which brings me to my next topic of a friend in the music world shared a video, which is why is music getting worse? And it related to the ease of making music with computers these days and all these pre-recorded sounds and taking the craftsmanship out of it, along with just your ability to stream music and how it removes your own time and energy that it used to take to, like, you know, go and work a job to make money to then spend on an album that you had to drive to the record store to pick up, and then the time invested in listening to it, the whole thing, rather than just swiping when you don't like the song or whatever. And my friend was sharing this is why he's not really recording and producing so much music right now, and instead focused on breath and sound circles. And I think there's an important place for those. And I obviously like recording music. You can find a link in the description here to my Bandcamp page where I'm sharing all that. And I'm in the process of releasing singles for my upcoming album that'll be out the first Friday of August 2024. Which, you know, is very different than probably anything you've ever heard before. Because that's what I'm interested in when I'm creating music. And with that, it's different than when I'm live, because I have the ability to manipulate everything through the computer realms. And with that, this notion of there's a bunch of different people out there who are interested in exploring the edges of sound. And sometimes you need a guide to help you with that. And my current notion is I'm one of those people. And I'm looking at how do I create some novelty for all y'all out there. I'm going to be dialing in my live setup with the computer and video related stuff to share how I work on music, and then to be able to do that in a live context with other musicians. And because I feel like, hey, I live on a small island and it would be a good idea to expand a bit in my reach, which is all kind of online at this point, because I have a unique story that I'll share at some other point in time of how I got off of my musical journey, and I'm on my current journey, and then reestablishing that aspect of myself. So that's going to be a bunch of fun once I'm done troubleshooting it all. We've already talked about troubleshooting, and I gotta get to work today. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to this channel. I would super appreciate it if you would go to my Bandcamp page and follow me on Bandcamp. That would help out a ton. And I hope that you all have too much fun.